Hey guys, welcome. This is going to be the first episode of what right now I am calling Spurling TV, episode number one. I don't know where the name's going to go. I don't really know where this is going to go, so definitely give me some good feedback. But my goal is to deliver content on a consistent basis, answering your most pressing questions on fitness, lifestyle, the emotional side, the more the mindset side of fitness, as well as personal development. So I'll reference it again at the end, but if you have any questions that you would like me to answer regarding, again, the topics of fitness, personal development, more the emotional or mindset side of things, please leave them below in the comments and I'll be sure to fit them into future episodes. For those who don't know me, my name is Doug Spurling. I own Spurling Training Systems in Kennymunk, Maine. We are a performance and fat loss training gym that specializes in small group personal training with really two distinct populations. Your busy mom who really never puts herself first, and our goal is to create an environment where they feel supported and held accountable and are not really intimidated, unlike at the typical gym, as well as youth athletes, mostly middle school aged, who are looking to either increase sports performance or just self-confidence and self-esteem. So again, my goal on a consistent basis is 2 to 3 questions that I either get from clients while at the gym, out and about in town, talking to people, or again, you guys can submit them below in the comments. So this week I have 3 questions. First question comes from Karen, and she would like to know. She says, "Doug, what is your daily routine like?" So since starting the business, my daily routine has changed quite a bit. I started obviously a solo business, doing all the training myself. From 5:30 in the morning till 7, 8 o'clock at night, and then going home and doing the business side of things. Fortunately, we've grown to the point where I have a full-time staff of coaches and the lovely Amy who works at the front desk that pretty much runs the day-to-day operations there. So I'm still heavily involved on the day-to-day operations, but my role has drastically changed to more of the operations, business management, and leadership side of things. So a typical day for me, I usually try to wake up around 6 to 7, depending upon the day. I usually am notorious for laying in bed for about a half hour and just kind of collecting my thoughts about what I have planned for the day. I'll hop over to my phone and check emails and just check in. We have a staff communication cloud software, so I'll check anything on that to see if there's anything going on at the gym that's pertinent. And then from there, I'll head downstairs, and first things first is got to have that coffee. So I'll have coffee and start my morning ritual of reading. So I try to read for 30 to 60 minutes every single day on business, leadership, personal development, as well as any relevant fitness blogs that are out there. But mostly I like the good old, hard copy, paperback, or hardcover book. So I'll read for 30 to 60 minutes. That usually takes me till about 9 a.m. From 9 to about noontime, lunchtime, I'm really working on the business operation side of things. So looking at whether it's something to do with staff training or staff development, whether it has to do with marketing, networking, blogging, producing content like this for you guys, really just kind of the behind the scenes side of running a gym. From at noontime, I'll typically have my first meal of the day. So that's a whole nother topic, but I usually don't like to eat until about noontime. So my first meal of the day, and then right after that, I'll head into the gym, check on the team, see what they need help with, and just kind of recap how the day's been going, any issues that we need to deal with. That usually takes me from about 1 to 3 or 4, depending upon the day. And then around 4 o'clock, I'll get my own personal workout in. And generally around 5 or 6, I am wrapping up with the team, checking out for the day, heading home, and ideally not cooking but eating dinner with my lovely fiance, watching a little bit of TV from 8 to 9, and then both Megan and I go to bed very, very early, around 9 o'clock. Typically, we head to bed around 9, and I typically will stay up for about another 45 to 60 minutes with my headphones in, listening to a podcast. So what I would extract from that, from value for you guys, is that's very systematized. I have a to-do list going on every single day, and I start and end every single day with some form of personal development. So that would be my tip for you. Next question comes from Carrie, and this is more on the fitness side of things. She wants to know, when do I know is the right time to increase weight? And I assume she's talking more about the strength training side of things. So increasing weight is an interesting thing, because I think, especially with our population that we deal with the moms and females in general, they're kind of afraid to increase weight. The benefits of strength training we can go over in a whole nother episode, but once you're bought into the benefits of strength training, we know that it doesn't make you big and bulky. We know there's many benefits to it. So then it comes time to progressively increasing weight. And really the simplest thing to think about with increasing weight is, you need to first check the box: is my form and technique solid? Not perfect, but is it solid? We're never gonna have perfect form. There's always something we can correct and coach on, but check the box: is my form and technique solid? Yes or no? If it's no, I'm gonna stay with the weight I'm at. If it's yes, then I can move on to a heavier weight. Now, when do I know if my form and technique is good? When do I know to increase weight? The best example and the best kind of tool I use is the 2-rep rule, which basically states that in your program, or what you follow for a routine, it should have a recommended number of repetitions, right? So it should say to do 10 reps or to do 12 reps. And you don't really want to change that, because that's based on your goal. So if it says to do 12 reps, that's specific to your goal, versus somebody else may only have 6 reps because that's specific to your goal, their goal. So when you're doing a program, when you're following a routine, you don't really want to deviate too much from those rep ranges. So instead, if you were, say, doing like push-ups, real basic push-ups, if it said to do 10 and you knew that you could do 12, so 2 more, it's time to add an aggressive load. If you're doing a lying chest press with dumbbells and you're doing 25 pounds and it says to do 12, and you knew in your head you could do 14 or 15, instead of doing the 14 or 15, next set, bump up to the next weight. And so basically keep increasing the weight until that rep range is struggling, and use the 2-rep rule, plus or minus. If you can still get within 2, don't drop the weight. So if it says to do 10 and you only got 8 or 9, that's okay. Stay at that weight until you get to that 10. At the same time, if it's a greater difference than 2, meaning you could only get 5 or 6, you probably need to drop the weight. On the other end, like we talked about, if it says to do 10 and you knew you could do 12, 13, 14, 15, bump up the weight. So we have to have that progressive overload, that kind of constant challenge, not to compensate form and technique, but just to have that added stimulus to see the change. So think of that 2-rep rule next time you're trying to increase weight. Last question is from Debbie, and she says, I've been stuck at a plateau for a while. How do I get past the plateau? And I've done this, I've covered this topic pretty extensively in a blog. You can head over to our website and reference that blog. But the short side of a plateau is twofold. One, celebrate your current success, because in order to have hit a plateau, that means that you've had a journey up until then. You've had success up until then. Okay, the word plateau, where does that come from? It comes from the mountains. When you're climbing, you sometimes hit a plateau where you can take a break and you kind of rethink about where you're going to go to get up a little higher. So relate that to that same category. Think back to rock climbing. If you have ever, or if you know anybody that rock climbs, as you're climbing up, when you're climbing, you don't care about 10 feet up, 20 feet up. You care about 3 feet in front of you. 3 feet. Where in this 3-foot radius am I going to put my next hand? Where am I going to put my foot for the next step? Where am I going to go 3 feet? And then I'll worry about the next 3 feet. And then I'll worry about the next 3 feet. I'm not concerned about going from 10 feet to 50 feet. So relate that to fitness and nutrition and all this other stuff where you get kind of caught on plateaus. A, you've had to get to a certain point. And now B, think about how I can get to that next grip. That's all I care about. So that could be one thing. That could be adding a little bit more protein. That could be having another serving of vegetable. That could be saying no to going out to eat and reducing it from 4 times a month to 2 times a month. It could be reducing your glass of wine from 5 times a week to 2 times a week. It could be, going in and increasing that weight next time. Don't look to go from 0 to 60. Look to go, as we say at our facility, 1% better. 1% better, 1% better. So think of that rock climber, and I'm just looking for that one small next thing, because mentally and physically, that will just kind of keep those wins stacking. That will keep that snowball rolling. And before you know it, you'll be past that plateau. So guys, those are the 3 questions for today. Again, hope you liked it. I'm keeping it short. I'm keeping it brief. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Give me some feedback on this. If you like it, I'll keep doing it. If not, we'll scratch it and move on to what you guys like. But I really think this is kind of my best way of delivering content and delivering value to you in that video format. So again, if you have comments for future episodes, please leave them in the comments below. And again, any feedback is appreciated. Have a great day, guys. I appreciate you watching. I will check in with you later.